Welcome in to Devine and the Dog. That was my evil chicken lady introduction to the show. Megan Devine, joined by Chase Sessoms, and the dog makes an appearance, finally.
She made it. She made it. We finally cleared her schedule. We got her in here. I would say if I were James Bond and you were the evil genius who did the slow turn reveal and you had a chicken in hand, I'd be pretty worried. I'd be worried that I wouldn't make it out of this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the reason I brought said chicken, her name is Sweets, by the way, is because I just wasn't sure that the dog was going to make it to the show. And so I figured we had to at least have one animal stand-in. I'm sorry, Rosie, I doubted you. And I went for the chicken. She likes it, I think.
Not a typical choice, which makes it maybe the best choice, I think. I think that really I like the name Sweets. I always swore that if I had a pet chicken, I would name it Two Piece.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, not all the chickens are named, but at least the ones that I can recognize. So that's how we roll down here at Cardinal Creek Farm. But I mean, speaking of animals, okay, so we had a big week last week. Of course, we need to talk about not only your puppy, but the most athletic puppies that we could see in the Puppy Bowl. We had the Snoop Dogg and Team Fluff defeat Martha Stewart and what was her Team Rough. Okay, so Chase, let's break down that game. What happened?
I mean, it was a high-scoring game. Not a whole lot of defense played. I'm going to be honest. Whenever I read the word Snoop Dogg, Bowl, and Fluff, I was like, "Is this a new strain that like Snoop Dogg has just recently found, or what's going on here?"
Yeah, so 73-69 ended up being the final score. But I mean, who doesn't love that? I'm a big fan of the puppy shows when you're talking about sports, right? Like you've got the Puppy Bowl. I also love the Jimmy Fallon Kentucky Derby, the Puppy Derby that he does. Have you seen that? Right, yeah, where the dog like goes over to the horse's name and picks that one.
Yeah, everything is always just like 10 times better when you add puppies. Hence,
right. I mean, yeah, obviously, she seems pretty excited to be here. So
yeah, as you can tell, stoked.
I think you should actually enter her in a Puppy Bowl at some point. Find her local.
But those get adopted, and I don't want to give her away. She's my support animal.
She did not like that. She was like, "Please, no."
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yep, just giving the beard some attention. All right, so, but the real game, the real Super Bowl, or I guess the second best Super Bowl would be the one with the Rams versus the Bengals. Different kinds of animals here. And I mean, I said at least on a couple of shows here locally that I thought the Rams would win, but I got to tell you, I didn't love the way they did it. I thought they were super sloppy and got so lucky with the opportunities that they missed. So I think the Bengals played a better game, but the Rams ended up on top there.
Yeah, this game admittedly made me a little bit of a sad panda because I had a futures ticket for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl at 20-1.
Really?
And so I thought I was going to cash that up until I didn't.
Okay.
So I avoided sports and increased my crying in the shower time from late Sunday until Monday.
Where did you watch the game, and were you in a fetal position for like most of the game? Or like how did you consume this?
Started fetal, moved to feet and anxious pacing, and then definitely resumed fetal. It was the way that it went.
I see. I gotcha. That's kind of how I figured that it went down for you. The halftime show. I mean, I loved it. And we went and watched the game in a bar, and everybody there was about the same generation. And I mean, they were just bumping. It was a lot of fun. What did you think about it?
I thought, to me, it was I hold the Prince halftime show in like very high esteem.
Everyone does, though. Isn't it the saying? Isn't that the what they say? It was like the day that they played a football game at a Prince concert or something. That's what they say about that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, with
nothing
the sheet,
can top that.
The silhouette, it was so cool. But I was also raised on that West Coast gangster rap, believe it or not. So this actually was a tie for me. Also, I've started calling 50 Cent $2.75 after it looks how he's packed it on. I hear he was the fill-in for the holographic Tupac. The lighting didn't work, so the holographic Tupac couldn't come out of the box. But
yeah. I was a big fan. I loved it. I thought it was super cool. I loved the map that they did on the bottom, like for everybody to dance on and everything. It just seemed like they were just all having fun in their like hometown area and just having a blast. But I do think that I kind of wish, I know he's from there, but like not that I don't like Kendrick Lamar, because I do, but I kind of wish it would have been like Ice Cube.
Holy. Live TV, folks. You can't make that
live
up.
TV. Yeah. So give me your thoughts on that.
I thought Kendrick. I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar. I really thought that he did a good job. And as I say this as a huge hip hop fan, I feel that a lot of times live hip hop can just be like, and it was really good. It was so
really good. I thought it was excellent. I was a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
Oh look, we have some hate though here. We have fell asleep, worst halftime ever. See, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it kind of, it plays into what, I don't know how old the person who was commenting was, but it seems like there's a generational divide. Seems like, well, who's to say? Who is to say?
I was not a fan of the Weeknd halftime show, so I liked this much better than that.
Yeah, that got super weird. That felt like David Bowie Labyrinth, like creepy at some points.
I wasn't a fan. Yeah. So at least in the grand, she agrees with you. In the grand scheme of things, I think that this was it was a much better halftime show. All right. So want to talk about, super excited about this. Also, Mary J. Blige was amazing and she looked amazing. So huge fan of that. Speaking of girl power, the Eclipse Awards, we had Jessica Pfeiffer win Outstanding Apprentice Jockey, which was super exciting. And she is only the third female ever to get the award, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm impressed because, for one, she was a heck of an apprentice jockey. She did a really good job. Please don't poop right there, Rosie. Okay. But she's done a heck of a job as an apprentice using that weight break, but also she beat out some pretty good apprentice jocks, John Geraldo and Charlie Marquez. Yeah,
I agree. It would be the equivalent of like, she's riding against on the West Coast some of the best riders like Mike Smith and Johnny Velasquez and Joel Rosario when he goes out there and in various races. So, you've got Flavian Pratt, all those big names. It'd be akin to like, I don't know, somebody playing against Tom Brady, like Joe Burrow, right? Like, or Matthew Stafford playing against Tom Brady. It's a huge deal. And so we're super excited about it. Gotta love that girl power there. Last week, the Sam Davis, both Chase and I were wrong. However, we had just a little bit of a hunch play there, or a head-to-head bet with the Mark Cassie horses. Mine came in a little bit better than yours, which I was excited about.
By a head. Don't get cocky. Okay.
Every head counts.
That's true. A tongue if we break it down, quite honestly. But yes, you're better at picking which Cassie horse.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Classic Causeway who ended up winning, which neither Chase or I picked for our top pick, but that's fine. We'll try again later because there is more racing to come as we get closer to the Kentucky Derby. All right, so this week, speaking of, the Kentucky Derby prep race is in New Orleans at Fairgrounds Racecourse and Slots. So we're going to talk a little bit of New Orleans stories there. Chase, have you enjoyed the Big Easy yourself?
Yeah, it's a lot further away than people realize being in Arkansas, but it's like an 8-hour drive, so you have to make like a long weekend of it. And been down plenty of times. I had a instance where the guy who Steve Zahn's character in Tremaine on HBO was based off of was playing in a bar that we were in, and I realized who he was and that he was the person that Steve Zahn's character was based off of. And so he was doing like the tip jar around. I was like, dude, I'm a huge fan. Like, can I ask you some questions? And he like kind of gave me a very smug look and then walked back to the stage and prepared like a 5-minute long, like complete song about, yes, he was in Tremaine and don't ask him any questions about it.
If only he would have played that before you asked him.
Something that would have been beneficial a couple minutes earlier.
Jeez, that seems like a him problem. I don't think you need to worry about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. I know that's soothing for the soul, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have enjoyed New Orleans myself. Got to go there for the Final Four when Louisville was playing Kentucky. Unfortunately, we lost that year. I was also involved in like a stampede that happened because everybody couldn't figure out where the tickets were, and it was like a first come first serve student section thing. So that was super exciting.
Yeah.
Way to go, NCAA. And then also later that night when you go out, you're in college, or seniors, whatever, and you're enjoying Bourbon Street, you maybe have like one too many hurricanes. But I don't know if this happens to you, and maybe it was just like the magic of New Orleans.
Mhm.
But all of a sudden, as I was sliding downhill into a blackout zone, I had this moment of clarity, just complete sober clarity. I was like, I have to get home. Called myself an Uber in those 10 minutes. Okay. Got to where it was the pickup. They were like 5 minutes away, got in the Uber and made it to my hotel. And then I don't remember anything after that. Ended up, it was fine. I was in my room, whatever. But like, it's just this magical moment that I have always remembered from my time at Bourbon Street, at least a little bit of it. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
So conditioned to my friends like drawing on me and messing with me. If I know that I've hit that point, that I just like hide somewhere like a house cat. Like you'll find me like under the sink or something because I'm like no one's gonna find me and draw on me here.
That's good. I'm gonna definitely send some permanent markers your way. All right. So I mean, you got to talk about horses when we're talking about New Orleans because of fairgrounds, but also from this gem of a moment that happened a few years ago. I mean,
look at that.
I love it.
More police should be involved in dressage. That is my personal take. That horse has Cha-Cha Slide Champion written all over it. Look at him. He's Charlie Browning. He is Charlie Browning right now.
He's amazing. I love it. So none of the horses that we see this weekend in the Risen Star Stakes, the Kentucky Derby Prep, are going to have moves like that. But at least hopefully they'll be fast. We'll get to a quick pick here for our body armor betting edge as we look at the Kentucky Derby Prep races. Chase, tell me about this race here.
Yeah, so this is going to be the Grade 2 Risen Star going a 1 1/8 at the fairgrounds. I think our first big Kentucky Derby points race. We're looking at a purse of $400,000, and we've got a bunch of good horses here. I gotta ask. I mean, what do you think? What's your call on this one?
All right, so there's a horse in here named Smile Happy, who I think is probably going to be the favorite, and I like that one. But I'm going to go in a different direction here with a horse named Papa Cap, who is the one getting a rider change to Tyler Gaffleone, who's like super talented, and also trained by Mark Cassie. And the reason I like this horse is because last time he faced a few of the other runners in here, it's going to be a bit of a rematch between a few horses, and he finished third, but a really close third. And I thought he actually had one of the better trips of them all. When you go back and you watch the replay, I thought he had the chance to win, but might have just gotten unlucky in a couple spots. Sometimes horses need a little bit more fitness when they come back off of like a vacation, whether it was an injury or whatever. This is his second start back after that. And I just think he's going to be super fit. It's like when you go to the gym the first time after you haven't worked out for a while, and then you go back again, you're like, all right, I'm feeling myself now. That's what I think is going to happen with Papa Cap.
So that's what happens the second time people go to the gym. That's good to know.
Yeah, just in case you were wondering.
I've never gotten past the one, quite honestly. As you might tell from my physique, yes. That's good to know. Like I'm learning things each week. This is impressive.
Absolutely, it's good. All right, so your pick for the Risen Star.
I'm gonna be a good old CEW. Chalk eating weasel here, and I'm actually gonna go with Smile Happy. I think the credentials are pretty good. Coming out, won that Kentucky Juvenile Cup that we've had like 3 horses run back to win their preps out of.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I thought it seems like the fairgrounds, the stretch is like a week long. So I thought maybe that a horse that could close a little bit could win it.
All right, there you go. So I am on Papa Cap. I do like Smile Happy, but gonna try to go against it. Chase on Smile Happy, and that'll do it for the Risen Star Stakes. This week's Kentucky Derby prep race. Next week, we're going to head to Oak Lawn in Chase's backyard in Arkansas for the Rebel Stakes. And, I might just have to bring a new farm animal on for that.
Yeah, I like a rebellious goat or something, like a goat
Oh
that's
my
like
God,
just
yes.
not going to put up with anything anymore. Like I think that's the way to go. I've
I
had a rebellious
have.
puppy this entire time, so I've been setting the tone.
I have a few of those. So, I mean, look forward next week, not only for our body armor betting edge picks there for the Rebel and Chase's obsession with Oaklawn, hence Wolf of Oaklawn for his Twitter handle,
Yeah,
but also to see what animals join the show here. So,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
never know. You never know what's going to happen on Devine and the Dog. So, thanks for joining us for this quick show on ABR. I'm Meg Devine, joined by Chase Sessoms. We will see you next week.
Pageant.